And welcome to another episode of Funny Talk with Mongelli and Max. I'm Tom Mongelli, and this is Doug Max. Doug, you're not coming through on the mic. I don't know why.
Am I really not?
Now you are.
No, I wasn't talking before.
Oh, you said something. Anyway, we have a special guest tonight. Rina, are we using your last name?
Oh, you didn't get my last name.
I know it, but I don't know if we're talking.
Her last name is, you didn't know, her last name is, we using your last name.
Oh, I mean, you can use my first name and my last name. What's the point of being on the video?
Well, this was something that Doug brought up. We need to ask her if we can use her last name. So this is Rina Rosen, all the way from Canada. Oh my God.
All
Canada.
the way. Yeah.
Now, what part of Canada you're from?
I'm in Toronto, Ontario.
Oh.
Yeah. And not so far from you guys, except, can't get there now. Can't cross the border. So it could be Russia for all you know. It wouldn't matter.
Speaking of Russia, I think Doug mentioned you're seeing someone from Russia.
I also mentioned to Doug that we can talk about that.
Okay.
I'm not supposed to talk about that because he also wants to watch this, and I have to be very careful with my words right now, or I may be single very soon again.
Okay, so we won't discuss the incarceration or the never mind.
If we're gonna go into dating, we can definitely talk about some of my ex-boyfriends. I don't have a problem with that, and they can hear whatever they want because I don't care. So that's
gotcha. Why. All right.
No, for everything that I've heard about your current boyfriend, he sounds wonderful and amazing, and I hope he realizes how lucky he is to have met you.
Thanks. He's definitely not Russian if he's my boyfriend, because
And
that must be a different guy.
I want to let him and any other guy know that are pursuing my good friend Rina.
Aww.
That if they don't take care of her right and don't treat her right, unlike every other man she's picked to be in her life, if they don't treat her right, I know some guys who I know some guys. Yeah, Tom, that's exactly right. And Tom and I in a car together. Getting out of a car together, we are a formidable sight. You know?
In a Laurel and Hardy kind of way.
Well, no, Jersey comedians. Wait a minute. One of them looks like the old crippled Jewish guy. We better walk slowly away. Hey, before we walk slowly away, Tom, did you do credits while I was trying to turn off my phone?
No, I didn't. Then we need to discuss our sponsor.
Yeah, we do need to. Well, we don't need to discuss him. We need to mention him. And how much we adore him because he's our sponsor. And he like I don't know what's wrong with him. He sponsors us. He gives Rina, this guy, he gives us money.
Like in shock. I was like, what?
Oh, Tom's telling me to be quiet. Yeah, he's signal because we're in audio. We're in audio only on podcasts. So,
okay.
Who's our sponsor this week?
Our sponsor, like always, is J. Irwin Productions. If you want to put together a comedy show for a fundraiser, a family get-together, a corporate event, a restaurant showcase, Jack Hoffman is the guy to contact, and you would email him at jack@jirwinproductions.com.
You got a walk-in refrigerator and like an idiot, you want a comedy show in it? He'll find you a comedian. And in COVID time, they come cheap. Jack will find you comedians to literally to clean your bathroom for probably less than you'd pay a maid.
They film that though?
They talk back?
Do they film the cleaning, the comedians clean? You know how Seinfeld has comedians in cars drinking coffee? Well, you could be comedians in bathrooms cleaning bathrooms.
Yeah, it could be OCD comedians like Doug.
What did you just say?
OCD comedians.
Yeah, I'm a really good cleaner. Give me a square foot of space and we'll find a way to clean it. You know, like.
I mean, I've been telling you to come down or up to Canada. I've got lots for you to do. I mean, come for a visit. That's what I mean. Got lots of things for you.
You got like brushes and rags you want to bring up with you while you're here visiting?
I mean, if you want to get very specific, I've got brand new toothbrushes, like so that you can be very detailed in your visit.
You don't need. I wouldn't. Listen, I wouldn't use new. I have a collection of old toothbrushes I use for cleaning different spots. Some for applying a gasket treatment on my cars.
Okay.
When is the last time you've put a gasket treatment on the gaskets of your car? Either of you.
Never.
Never.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a gasket treatment. Have you ever been to a spa, Rina?
Have I been to a spa?
Have you been to a spa? It's not a, yeah. Have you been to a spa?
Yeah.
Okay. They have treatments.
It had to do with cars.
Like your skin, right?
A tasket. Doug is, never mind.
Yeah, I don't think.
You could go to a doctor and get a treatment. Yeah, this is like a treatment, but for the gaskets of your car.
Okay. So I just have to stick my face in the back of a car and that will help improve my face. Is that what you're getting at? Same thing as going to the spa.
You look great tonight, by the way. I like your new glasses. And for those who don't know, Rina is, how do we introduce you to our audience? I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm going to start. So Rina,
What am I, Doug? What am I to you?
Rina, you are what are you? You are
I am a
you are light.
turned
You are light and dark at the same time.
Light and dark at the same time.
You are brilliant. You are brilliant and a moron at the same. You are complexity itself.
Oh, wow.
My friend Rina, everyone, comedian, musician,
So much.
technological whiz, mother of an adorable daughter who she probably wants to kill, even though she's also very proud of.
That is true.
How old is your daughter?
No,
How old is she?
not true. How old is my daughter? She is the crazy age of 15.
Oh, tough age. Tough audience.
Yeah, I know you're supposed to love your children, but sometimes it's really challenging for sure. Like,
You left out the word. You left out the word beating. You love beating your children.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't believe in beating for sure. I'm more on the hard labor kind of side of things.
Okay.
Just put them to work. But Doug, thank you so much for those compliments. I mean, calling me like, you know, I don't know, like complicated, complex, and a moron, like intelligent, but a moron, something like some kind of like dark. I mean, I wish I could say things, but you told me I couldn't swear.
I've known Rina a long time, and we've been through heartache and suffering.
That's true.
And joy.
We're still going through it because I have to hear you whine about your girlfriend constantly. If we're bringing in mine, I'm bringing in yours. So there.
So Rina has had an interesting collection of men in her life, and it was one of the things that made me realize I don't want to be in that collection.
Throwing it back to me. You don't want to be part of the bones in my backyard. I understand. It's risky.
No, Tom, you will appreciate this. Rina and I bonded. Rina taught me about sociopaths. She had one in her life. Well, I had one in my life. Which sociopath you're very familiar with? The famous comedian who's left the territory, convinced a woman to marry him. Yeah, I won't use his name.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Tom.
I was curious. Doug mentioned that you dabbled in comedy, but he said you're not a comic. Now, I don't know what that means, but
He said I dabble in comedy, but I'm not a comic. Is that what he said?
I said
yeah.
Much flattery this evening. Like,
you're the funniest.
well, I mean,
you're the
Doug
funniest-
also told me that you described
Uh-oh. Good. It's a good place for her to cut off. Doug also,
comedy. It's usually more like deadpan.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Tom,
Most of the time 50-50. So I mean, Doug finds me funny, so there's that.
I don't know who you're talking about because your sound cut out for the introductory remarks. For the over.
Sorry. And cut off. Well,
Yeah.
what was it saying? Did you hear any of it?
Who what?
Nothing.
I heard the word deadpan.
Yeah, that
Are
could
we
be
frozen? Oh no.
I think Doug is doing it because you were talking about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
look.
Sorry, guys. The Zoom thing. This is where I'm north.
Huh.
Here, give me a moment. Just talk amongst yourselves for a moment. I'll see.
So what do you think of that Rina, Tom? Hey? Maybe she's going inside to get a stronger Wi-Fi connection. For those watching, I wonder what happened to her.
That was weird. She just cut out and couldn't.
No, it's not weird. We've had people's Wi-Fi connection freeze up. She's in another country. Do you know that something like 90% of Canadians live within 10 miles of the U.S. border? If I lived in Canada, I would not want to live within 10 miles of the U.S. border. I definitely want to get further away.
Yeah, but past that, you freeze to death.
It's not that cold here. In our little igloos. Anyways, I'm back, guys. Sorry.
Hi,
Hello again.
welcome back.
Anyways,
Yes.
what you talking for? I said I'm kind of deadpan, so either you get the joke or you don't. And usually I'm not even joking. I'm just like telling bits about my life that are completely ridiculous. I think that's where the sort of retarded moron part comes in for Doug. You find so it's just normal everyday things that normal people seem to have no problem with, but I seem to
Gotcha.
get into trouble over and over again. So,
Understand completely.
Now, what's the stand-up comedy situation in Canada? Do you have comedy
really
clubs?
bad. Well, I mean, we have comedy clubs, but we don't really have any funny people. All the funny people kind of went to New York or somewhere else. I mean, everyone here is, it's just you have to be very politically correct to do comedy here. You have to monitor what you say. You have to monitor the pronouns. So, that kind of eliminates like 50% of all the jokes that you want to possibly do. Can't get away with it because the laws are strict. It's basically a communist country.
Canada. Is it about what pronouns you use?
Yeah, you can get in trouble. I mean, maybe other people seem to find them funny, but I'm not. Not really.
Now we've had tons of very funny comics coming out of Canada though over the years.
That's you. I think you made the point that they're leaving Canada once they realize I better get out of here because.
Hey, I'm funny. What am I wasting my time here for, eh?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have like freedom of speech. What's that? It's just like we're gonna be joking about hockey and beer. It's like,
oh come on.
I can't tell you how many comics are like, "Hey, did you check out the hockey game the other day?" And it's like, no, because I don't watch sports. So there you go, dead end.
Now it's getting more and more like that in the United States too, with all this political correctness and Me Too movements and whatnot. It's hard to come out with a decent joke without offending somebody, and they're becoming more vocal about their offense.
The Me Too movement is really, really upsetting, deeply upsetting to me because, I'm working at a job and I'm finding it hard to move up the corporate ladder without sleeping with my bosses. I mean, this is a real problem for me.
But could you get more attractive bosses? Solve the problem.
Some of them are women, so it's a bit problematic, and maybe married. But it's just like everyone.
With some American lesbian comedians who would love to perform up in Canada, and I'm sure they'd make your bosses happy.
Give me their numbers. I mean, I gotta go up the corporate ladder somehow. It's certainly not going to be with my moronic brain, as you mentioned.
Oh, stop it! You're going to write it. Rina, I don't know why, but I noticed instantly Rina was one of the bright people on Earth.
So Rina, how long have you been a moron?
Genetic. Come from a long line of morons.
Rina is a woman moved by her heart, and so she makes these. She has made in the past, but I know she's totally learned. She's made some poor decisions judging men, and I tried to tell her men are morons, and we're guilty of being. Where if we're not sociopaths, we practice at it. We'll do anything for sex. And Rina still believes, in
love. I think you misunderstood some of my stories, Doug. I mean, if you think I have a heart, the heart's in my pants as well. So I think that's where a lot of the problems started.
I misunderstand everything.
What's going on?
I redo them so they're funnier. That's all.
You're being very generous to me, but thank you. No, these were all part of the moronic experience of making bad judgments. Had very little to do with heart. I mean, I don't know where heart is. I've been told it's black.
Of great support to one another going through the heartbreak of online dating.
That is true. I have helped you a lot.
You have taught me wonderful things. And my current girlfriend has taught me wonderful things too. I think the best thing is that I should think before I speak. Every time I do that, I realize I should not speak. So that's really helped our relationship, like, immeasurably, for obvious reasons.
I can relate to that problem. I think a lot of things would be solved if I just didn't actually speak. I actually was told that by my boss, like recently, not to speak, because apparently, I don't know, causing some kind of weird kerfuffle every time I open my mouth. So she was like, "Can you just not speak in meetings?" Just like, and then you tell me what you think, and then I will speak.
It's called chain of command, and it keeps things orderly and organized, and it means that the boss isn't responsible for telling you everything that they've got going on just in case. But yeah.
Tom, I should mention that I was self-employed for a long time, so now I'm working in an organization. So it's really hard to dampen the comedy side, like when you're in these meetings. I guess, I don't think that's what it had to do with, obviously, but I think just they were just like, guys, just don't speak, please. Yeah, but Zoom meetings are kind of difficult, like, I mean, I personally like it because I don't have to see people or smell people, but, they are complicated in a work situation. So, it's the best way to avoid the problem of, do I tell that person that they smell a VO or not? Because you don't have to deal with that in Zoom meetings.
To human resources, and they're the ones who have that awkward conversation with people.
Oh, really? Is that how it works? Okay.
Because I used to work in HR, and we've had to have had that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I never did personally, but I was aware of people that did, and I actually was a trainer, a corporate trainer. So one of the seminars we did was how to talk to people about awkward things. And
so did you learn anything from that? Because apparently your girlfriend has a lot of problems with you.
But not my smell. I'm OCD. So I won't say I smell good. If I do it right, I smell like nothing.
Showering.
For the show, I did moisturize. I want you guys to know, with a light lavender aftershave balm.
Lovely. I have cannabis smelling hands for some
Really?
reason. Yeah, well, it's legal here, so
Okay.
that's why it's on my hands. It's because my daughter got a little package, and there was one that was sort of cannabis smelling, and that's the one I ended up with. So,
Oh, honey,
just
I made your favorite tomato oreganato. Thank you for getting that in the store. You what, Ma?
he's like, I'll take all the nice flowery smelling ones. Leave mom with the cannabis.
How long has weed been legal in Canada?
How long has it been legal? Since Trudeau took power. I think he likes smoking pot, so he's just like, I'm gonna make that legal.
It's going to be legal in New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's legal in New York. I think it's decriminalized there.
Mm.
Yeah.
But you can't go there without smelling it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, we have like,
Vomit smell.
well, our society hasn't collapsed because of marijuana, so that's a positive. It's just collapsed for every other reason, but the marijuana is doing quite well.
Now, Rina, how long was the longest length of stay that you've had in the United States?
The longest stay, I guess, like a month. I'm constantly going to New York back and forth, and
Now,
Doug's there, obviously.
well, there's a big draw. I don't know that Canada has anybody left after knowing that. But do you prefer living in Canada versus what you suspect living in the United States would be?
I mean, if you were to ask me this before COVID, I would have definitely probably preferred America, but now the situation is pretty insane. I actually have a green card approved. Like my brother's a comedian, and he moved to New York a long time ago, and then he sponsored me, but the process was like 8 years. So then finally it's like COVID hit, and then the consulate was like, you got your green card, but you can't come here. So
Yeah, right.
can't cross the border. So
Now, what are they do? What are they doing in Canada regarding COVID? Is it same as here, or obviously not?
Oh, well, I mean Canada, you mean communist Canada. So
Oh
basically
no.
like everything's shut down like again and again. It's just like every day I'm in Ontario, every day our premier goes on the news and he's like, so I just want to, we're just going to lock something more down. Like, it's just like every day there's like a new rule. Nobody's following it. It's just like, what?
If we had done that in the beginning, when we
Yeah.
knew how deadly and dangerous and infectious it was,
Uh-huh.
our numbers would be very different. And it would have been over. And
Well, it's not really working here though. It's like, for example, only 15 people could go on the skating rink in Toronto. So I go to the skating rink because of COVID, right? And we all have to stand 6 feet apart. So only 15 people on this little skating rink, but you have to stay 6 feet apart. And then all of a sudden, like to get your skates on, you're smushed together. And then to take your skates back off, you're smushed together. So it's like, why don't they just let more people on the skating rink?
It's not as bad as the time Tom and I went skating to a pond nearby here that freezes over in the winter. We went skating. Tom went out. The frozen part all disappeared.
The what disappeared?
The frozen part.
Okay.
All right, that's Doug's ill attempt to make fun of my weight, by the way.
Oh, is this a true story or are you just
No,
making
we've
that?
never been skating together.
Okay.
The last time I was skating, I think
I was
Jimmy
gonna.
Carter was the president.
You don't remember
I don't even know who that is, so I'm just kidding.
What did they call it in the Olympics? Is it pair skating? Tom, you and I think would make an awesome pair of skating.
Are you talking about the Para-Olympics that you
We could do moves.
for morons?
Moves. No other skating team could do, Tom.
Simultaneous skating?
You could use. Why don't you do sledding? You can use his body as a sled, and you just jump on top. No offense, Tom.
I think we've
None taken.
we've already done a. I think we've done a transatlantic voyage on top of him. Now, Stephanie, who never listens to the show, she's going to listen to this one show.
Look,
And
Tom, I can't even see your weight. I can only see you from like up here. So I'm sure you're beautiful on the inside.
Stephanie, have you heard how many times Tom has made fun of me not being funny and how that deeply hurts my feelings? I'm lashing out and I'm getting even.
That's really interesting because I was like, what feelings, Doug?
Thank you. Tom knows that. That's why he's so cruel to me. He knows he knows I either don't hear or don't care or I'm not going to get, so he can go out and I think he's the same way. He knows he's heavy. It's not like, right?
Yeah, every time I put my socks on, I realize it.
I was going to say, yeah, like when he looks in the mirror, and I'm like, yeah, like he make mirrors that big.
Well, didn't you see like on Cosmopolitan, apparently, like being obese is healthy.
Oops.
Whole big thing about that, where they have all
Really?
these, they have all these obese women doing ballerina like poses, and they're like, "I am healthy." You know, it's like
fan base is Ethiopia.
it's like okay.
Inviting Tom to come and visit and perform there. I'm like, Tom, you can't go to Ethiopia. These people don't want to. They don't want to experience your comedy. They want to eat your leg.
Look, Doug, first of all, there's a few problems with that. One is they're vegetarian. The other part is I think Ethiopia hasn't been starving since you were like in your 50s. Like, I mean, it's been
long ago.
They're like, they got some food happening now. What was that, like 30 years ago that Ethiopia was starving?
Sure, thanks to Sally Struthers.
I don't know. Are they still starving? Like, are they recycling these programs from the 1970s? Like these commercials? Like,
where's a new starving place?
Where's the new serving place?
Where's starving? People are starving.
Oh, starving.
Yeah, for my comedy.
You know, I was about to make dinner. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm starving or anything, but no, I mean, like, seriously, you know, there's been a few decades of like trying to, you know, raise money to feed these starving children. Like, aren't they fed yet? Like, when does the money get to them? When do they get some food? Like, how long are these kids starving for?
Well, I think every country's got some starving people, regardless.
Not only the starving people, the starving animals, the poor animals shivering in the cold, with the photographers photographing these animals shivering in the cold. Let's photograph this animal shivering in the cold a little while longer. See how much money. Give the animal a blanket. Give him some nice warm chicken broth or something, for God's sakes. Anyway, this time of the year, from like Thanksgiving on, and it's just ending now, it's all starving people and animals.
So are you suggesting we should feed them turkey? Just send all the turkey American Thanksgiving. Let them eat cake.
Turkey.
Turkeys.
The breast you might as well throw away.
Apparently, like, people don't like turkey. Like, why do we only eat turkey once a year? Why?
They dry out the breast and it becomes gummy.
Yeah,
it's not how to cook.
Why are you so obsessed with murdering turkeys around Thanksgiving? Like, how does that correlate? Like, Thanksgiving, murder a turkey and eat it. Like, I'm not vegan, by the way. I'm just curious.
Well, you know what? It's a lot less humane than if you ate it live.
That's fair. That's fair. That's good.
Or more humane, I should say.
A turkey is so dumb that in the rain, it will hold its neck up and drink water until it drowns.
Really?
That's true. I read that somewhere.
I mean, some university students do that with alcohol. I mean, they're turkeys as well. So how are things there, like, for you guys? Like, how are you managing?
Well, Doug is a lot more expedient about obeying the lockdown laws than I am. I got out and I started doing shows again. Now there aren't any shows to be had, so.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a hard time.
And few between. And I have to admit,
Oh, so like you can't do any live shows now in New York at all?
Well,
there's
New
some
York,
regulations.
definitely not New York.
Um, and there was
Yeah,
never.
it's a hard time. Like, cause it's hard
Okay.
to be a comedian because it's like you want the audience, right? Like,
Yeah,
what's the point of me doing this if nobody's gonna laugh at my damn jokes?
right, right.
And laugh, damn it! Laugh.
If you have 10 people that can come to every show, boy, are you a comedian. That's all.
Mm, yeah.
I
Well,
had,
I mean,
I had
yeah.
a couple of shows recently canceled because there was no audience. Nobody made reservations.
Oh, okay.
But people are afraid to go out. Money is an issue around the holidays.
Yeah.
You know, money is a big issue, and the difference between the $600 and $2,000 that people get to stem the tide. I don't know that that makes a big difference.
I don't know. I think I'm worth it. I mean, if they're getting $600, they could spend at least 10 on me.
Rina,
10 American is a lot of money for us communists, you know. Just saying. Like our dollar is like a peso. It's like worth a penny. But anyway, so are you guys gonna get the vaccine, or like how do you feel about that?
Well, Doug, I think you're gonna get it, right?
what?
You're gonna get the vaccine.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait a while.
Well, I'm not. Listen, it's
I know
not.
everybody's
It's
waiting.
not going to be accessible to me for months. So when it becomes accessible to me, I'll get it.
Hmm.
You know, I'm going to be
Everybody,
65.
everybody I know is like, you know what? I will get the vaccination. Maybe after everyone else gets it, and then I'll see what starts growing out of the side of their head.
Right.
And if
Exactly.
nothing starts growing out of any weird place or if nobody dies or anything like that, then I'll get it. It's like, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So, not to change the subject, but Doug tells me you have pets.
I have what?
Pets.
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 Dog.
Yes, I have a little mini Labradoodle.
Aw.
Very, very cute, but very verbal. It's like worse than having a boyfriend live with you. It's like, it's kind of like an old man, an old furry man is inside like a little baby. Like it's like an old man and a furry baby. You know, that's what it is. Cause he just like, every
Right?
once in a while, he's like, and just constantly like,
Well, to quote a Seinfeld line, it's like an old man sending back soup at a deli.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, except he's just a little bit more annoying. Like last night, for example, he's like lying on my bed really comfortable, and then all of a sudden he's just like, bleh, 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 at like 2 in the morning. It's just like, thanks a lot, dog, for Sunday night. Just got to do that on Sunday night at 2 a.m. just before I start work after a long week off for the holidays. Thank you so much. Yeah, so he's an interesting character.
I mean, I've got a set where I act like a puppy in order to convince a woman to, you know, be with me.
I think I remember that.
I should like hack up a fur ball. Like when I go there, they serve dessert, I hack up a fur ball.
Cats do that. No, seriously, my dog has some really weird, bizarre behaviors. Do you guys have any? Do you have a dog, Tom? Do you know anything about dogs?
I did years ago, but I have a cat now.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
your name, Tom?
My cat's name is Joey Bag of Donuts. Yes, and you haven't experienced pure joy until you've stepped barefoot in cat puke at 2 in the morning.
Hey, I had to clean dog puke at 2 in the morning, so I can relate. But yeah, cats are nice. I mean, I don't know if I could handle having a cat at this point in my life because they're kind of dangerous, you know? Like if you're the OCD type, which I think Doug and I are, they like ruin everything. But it's not like dogs are any better, but
I don't have cats. I
tell you though, my cat has more dog qualities. Like he'll greet me at the door and jump up on me.
My
He
cat
doesn't knock things off the shelf like you see on these YouTube videos.
the cat who thought she was a dog, or he.
I don't know if he thinks he is, but he's just got a lot of the same characteristics.
That's cute. See, I'm wondering if I need a dog psychiatrist or something like that, because like my dog, like if he has to go to the bathroom or something, he just like runs towards the door and just slams his entire body into the door. Like I'm thinking that's not normal. Like just boom. Do you need to go to the bathroom? Okay, let's go. Like you could have just said or something.
You know, it's funny. Doug does the same thing.
That's true. I've seen it personally.
I always
say you're having hip problems. You know, there might be a relationship there. But yeah.
What else is going on?
Now, in addition to comedy, you're also a musician?
Yes. Yep. So I played in a band, a few bands from a young age. I just retired. Well, I turned 40 and then I'm like, I'm done. You know, like, there's no way I'm going to perform at 1 a.m. I'm tired. That was the thing. And, you know, so, and also I think as a woman, like you kind of have to be naked in singing to be famous. And I went through the point of where I couldn't become a stripper. I was not going to be successful that way, nor could I be a successful singer after 40. So that was the end of that musical career.
That might be an angle that either Tom or I could leverage.
Leverage. I'm not naked, Doug.
We've got a naked cowboy in New York. Do we have any naked comedians, Tom? Listen, Tom, you know something?
Seeing you naked would be comedy, for sure.
Not to compliment you, but I suspect...
like tragedy.
Tom, I think you could go up naked and also be G-rated at the same time.
Look, I'll show some cleavage, but that's where I stop, draw the line.
And that line, you need extra ink.
Yeah, I just, you know, I was just like, this is not working. So I wasn't showing enough flesh, I don't think.
I understand your comment. There are a number of women, well, you know something, there are a number of, I won't say only women, but there are a lot of women who are kind of, you know, kind of use their sexuality, and I know it gets them bookings. There's a stripper comedian.
Mm. Are you comedian something, or like, are you making is it a suggestion? I don't know. Like.
Oh, by the way, you were going to send me a link to a ball that I roll on my butt, and I'm very interested in that.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, that's a side thing. Just a little side.
What was that ball Rina wanted you to roll on your butt? Nothing, honey. No, I can't say.
Well, my side gig is that I like to play fake doctor as well as fake psychiatrist. So when people tell me I say with authority, well, I think you should try rolling on a ball.
Diagnosis is correct in my case. I really do. I have a good.
That's not the moronic side. I got that from my father's side. Not.
I'll go to one of Tom's clinics.
You know, I just recently opened up this is so stupid. I don't even want to say it.
Say it.
I opened up a clinic. I'm not going to say it. All right, here's one you love. I opened up a shelter for battered shrimp. That's the joke. There's usually battered women.
Is from Canada.
Battered shrimp.
Tom.
I mean,
bad guy.
They don't put batter on their shrimp. What?
And I also opened a discount surgical center called Suit Yourself.
Don't. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I set him up for that, and then I'm like, yeah, don't encourage that. We don't need. Do we need more?
I like that. The second one I got. I mean, you know, A joke not only has to be funny, but it has to process in this brain, to get to a point where it's like, oh yeah, I understand those words.
Tom does a lot of figure ground humor. Like you got a TV, an HD TV, but well, you got it on sale. It was an ADHD TV. It gets a great picture, but it won't stay on one station.
That's pretty good.
I make it through Tom's comedy. If I didn't have Tom's comedy sustaining me, our show would be like, hey, but Doug's not funny. Well, yeah, but when he does Tom's humor, he's pretty funny. Thank you, Tom.
You guys just have to more. Yeah, the first band I played in actually was called ADHD, the band.
Oh,
but
really?
the reason I had to quit was because I kept forgetting my own lyrics.
That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But
you and I wrote some wonderful comedy. I don't know if it ever got stage time, Rina, over the years. But
yeah, no, Doug definitely helped me with some jokes
about how stupid men were, which I always appreciated because I
love men, Doug, and that's the source of the problem. Maybe a little too much.
Listen, I love women, but listen, women have
Breasts.
things that are pretty commonly women things that don't always jive with things that are commonly men things.
Okay, what are you talking about? What are these women things you're referring to?
Here's an example.
Are you trying to say it's our hormones? Because you know how women react to that.
We think differently. So I'll give you a little example. So like say, I can't do this. I want to do it. I can't do it. Maybe I can do it.
Go for it.
So like when you're with your guy and you're caressing his hair and you're rubbing your hand on his chest.
Wait, you're talking to me?
No.
That's what I was wondering. Doug, what hair?
So when you're caressing him and you're rubbing his hand and you're holding his hand, and maybe you're moving your finger back and forth, showing your level. He's thinking one thing. He's thinking that your actions are misplaced. He's thinking,
rubbing the wrong part of his body.
Yeah, put that energy. Listen, yeah, okay. You touched my hand. Listen, put that energy somewhere else.
See, they should have a sexual GPS.
Tom, I did that joke about that.
Was that okay? I knew I heard it somewhere.
Really? So like every time I'm seeing someone and they hold my hand, I'm not supposed to be holding their hand?
Recalculating.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this. This will help you in your relationship with your guy. You move your hand to his crotch, and you move it.
I actually tried that once, Doug, and I was arrested. So this is Canada after.
Do it with your teachers.
You could do the trick with find the keys.
You know what? Actually, I don't know what it is, but there's a difference between American men and Canadian men. Like Canadian men would be scared to death if a woman did that to them. Like
really.
They would just be like, ee! American men are just like, down here, lady.
I'm not really like that. I had a woman once like kiss me on our first date, and she was like drunk as a.
I was wondering if she was blind.
It was a blind date.
She was on some kind of drug.
When I met her at like 2 p.m. for lunch, she got out of a car. That she had a driver drive her. She got out of the car walking like a baby kangaroo, like a baby giraffe. That was it.
Nice. Hot. Baby giraffe.
And then she forced me to kiss her. And then we got into a discussion about God, and I might have said something that prompted her to say, "Don't say that about God." Yeah. Anyway, the date didn't work out too well.
You really know how to speak to the ladies, Doug.
Well, that story just proves that because Doug likes baby giraffes, he's both a pedophile and the
What's the animal one?
yeah, right.
A pedophile. That's the
Bestial
name.
Yeah.
something.
Because of what I do, because of how dogs react around me.
That's true.
Don't call your girlfriend's names.
Hey,
Sorry, Steph.
I've never met her, so
you know something? I'm sending you.
very
You're
good.
half the price of that dinner, Tom.
Nice.
He was only. Why would he joke like that? He's a comedian. He says, honey, have you heard the inappropriate things that Tom has said? He's had women
So
post
mean.
on Facebook about how offensive he is.
Mm.
And meanwhile, I'm tricking women into having sex with me, and women are fine with it.
Yeah.
You go ahead, girl. Yeah.
Well,
Tom, I should
if they
tell
have
you
to
that-
call it a trick, it's just an occupational hazard.
I think people feel sorry for me. That's why women forgive me trying to trick women into having sex with them in my comedy, right?
They feel sorry for you because how are they feeling sorry for you?
They want me to have sex. And so they understand that, so I'm going to act like a puppy to try to have sex with this woman whose online picture has herself with her puppy. So I pretended to act like a puppy to get a date with her and to have my way with her. It's all geared towards, when you're dating and you're alone, for a man, it's the prime directive.
Well, if you're alone, you're not dating.
Well, you can date and feel more alone than there are many dates I came back from wishing I was just alone. Am I right, Rina?
Well, I don't think dating has existed here for over a decade since, Tinder existed. Like I can't remember the last time a man actually asked me to have a date before having sex with him. That's pretty weird.
Yeah, I'd always, at the very least, I'd take a woman to White Castle first.
That sounds delicious.
Nothing but the best.
Yeah, for real.
Maybe anything. You can get it with cheese, without pickles, onions. What do you want?
I mean, that's the most romantic thing I've heard in the past decade from men. Usually they're like DTF.
One of the greatest laughs I get in every joke, every set I do, I'll say with a straight face. So, so I took her to a nice place and I ordered for her like a gentleman. The lady will have 3 White Castle, no pickle. In New Jersey, people laugh at that.
Right.
And
yeah, unfortunately, we don't have that chain here.
I'm serious. They believe me. That's what makes it fun.
I mean, I've heard they're very good. I mean, what's the whole thing with those burgers?
They're only good at 2 a.m. when you're drunk.
No,
Gotcha.
the whole thing, ironically, the whole thing, seriously, it's a square burger, maybe 2 inches by 2 inches, and it's about an inch thick.
And it's square.
The whole thing is they put flavor holes in it, which are holes about a half an inch diameter, and they put 5 flavor holes in it. So they don't have to flip it when they're grilling the onions on top of it.
Mm.
My father remembers when they were 20 for $1, a nickel a piece. Now they're like 60 cents. But he said back in the day they only had 3 flavor holes. So now we have less meat, but we have more flavor holes. So in the future, I predict that pretty soon the White Castle is going to be nothing but flavor hole. And it will be delicious.
I don't know if it'll be delicious. Maybe at 2 a.m. if you've been drinking or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely miss burgers. I mean, I became gluten-free, so that kind of eliminates most everything for me now.
Listen, when they let you across the border and you come down to my neighborhood, there's a White Castle in it for you.
I mean, do they have gluten-free burgers?
They might have actually plant-based.
Well, is there gluten in the actual meat? Is there gluten in the meat or just the bun?
Yeah.
Sometimes both, actually. Like, I don't know. I just presumed like America was just really like everything was gluten-free nowadays, gluten-free or meatless. I want the meat. Don't get me wrong. I want the meat. I just want everything to be gluten-free so I can
Gluten-free
eat it all.
meat is only in some parts of California.
By the way, this is not a goiter. This is Joey Bag of Donuts.
Yeah, I noticed. I was gonna make some comments, but Doug told me not to be crude. So
Oh, that's
you're-
not to make, Rina.
you told me I can't use certain cuss words.
Well, I already know what you were going to say, and it was rude. So maybe that's what I was going to say. Joey, are you happy? Joey, meow, meow,
Say hello.
meow,
Say hello.
meow.
He's purring.
He has a nice little pillow just
Yeah.
above your.
Not little.
That's what she said. No, I don't know if that would work for that.
It doubles as a TV table.
Nice.
Yeah, tray.
How big is the TV? That'll make
What does he weigh?
sure.
Do you know?
What's that?
What does Joey weigh?
Oh, I don't know. He's big though.
I had a 17-pound cat as a kid growing up, but
That's big.
yeah, that's a big cat.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a 17-pound cat. Not allowed to use cuss words. I don't know. It doesn't work for women, you see. Like, you can't use these jokes.
Why? When you said, yeah, I had a 17-pound cat, I remembered going to a set of this wonderful comedian in New York who was talking about sitting and watching TV with her 3 cockroaches on her lap. And
Liz Larkin.
she went on and completed her set, and she didn't get a big laugh for the cockroach stuff. So I had to begin my set by, I said something like, I don't know if you guys know how odd it is, and I don't know if you missed it, but the comedian, before having her cockroaches, watching TV with her, I've been on hundreds of dates with women, and only like 3 of them would watch TV with cockroaches on them. It's a very rare thing.
Did she actually have cockroaches on her?
Madagascar hissing cockroaches.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
What's so funny about that? Why?
I don't
So,
know.
guys, I have a question for you. Like, how long do you record? Because I'm just wondering.
Word? You're
Because you're looking for a back door to sneak out of.
looking at my watch.
Not sure, but like the audience. I just got an audience of
It felt like
of a
hours.
teenage girl and a little puppy.
Listen, you imagine you're thinking of yourself. Think of how the audience feels. She always gets bored around 13 minutes in anyway. So he left us a long time ago.
No, no. I just wondering. I mean, yeah, it's been fun chatting with you guys.
Kathy,
Well, we usually do an hour.
An hour.
We've come close to an hour, but you were late, so now we have to do another 5 minutes. You want to talk about any exciting performances you have coming up?
Me?
No, Joey
yeah,
Bag of Donuts.
In case you're the guy you're seeing, maybe you can let him know what might be coming up for him.
I have so many like performances coming up. A lot of performance anxiety at work. a lot of performing in the bedroom.
By the way, don't confuse those two. Anxiety at work and anxiety in the bedroom.
Got a lot of performance anxiety. Oh, you mean performing comedy? Got it. I mean, some people say that my bedroom antics are comedy. That would be another.
Whatever, wherever you get your kicks,
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I would love to, my problem with doing stand-up comedy is always actually leaving my house. That's the hardest obstacle, and getting off my couch. Especially in the winter. Like I am in Canada, so
Yeah.
once I can overcome that, I'm sure things will pick up for sure.
I heard, I think it was the founder of LL Bean might have said something like, "There's no bad weather, only bad outfits."
I don't think they've ever been to northern Canada. I mean, we had an ice storm here. Half the city was knocked down.
I heard a show in Norway. They do things, to get through the winter blues, and they dress properly, because
That's
it's
true.
cold all the time.
That's true. That's true. Well, maybe when my green card finally comes in and they let me in, I'll just come to the States and the weather will be more temperate and I'll do more performing without the anxiety. And then get COVID and then probably die.
And that's the best case scenario.
Yeah, that's the best case scenario. Sure.
The upbeat Rina Rosen, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I like to keep it real.
That could be the name for your one-woman show, and then I'll die.
I don't know. I get really anxious with COVID. It's like, I got to sneeze. Am I going to die? Like, I have a sore throat. Am I going to die? Like, you never know. Like, everyone's saying you can be asymptomatic. Well, maybe I have it. Am I going to die? I don't think so. Just being neurotic.
No, don't worry about it. You are going to die, but probably.
I know. There's 100% chance I'm going to die eventually, for sure.
Right. Yeah, some of my best friends are neurotic. Right,
Yeah.
Doug?
Hey, you're not talking about me, are you? Why would you be talking? Why would you single me out and ask if I knew what you were talking about, huh? Me, huh? Do I come across as neurotic?
You?
I retract that question.
Yeah.
We're all neurotic in our own ways, let's face it.
True.
Hey,
So,
talk for yourselves. I once had a friend of mine who's a psychologist, tell me that I was perfectly normal. This is a good friend. That's all I can tell you.
Was this before or after they took away his license to practice?
Yeah.
yeah, I was wondering, is this before or after the divorce?
You're frozen again, but you're frozen in a good spot, Rena. Oh, there, now you're unfrozen.
Okay, oh well. I tried to make a good joke.
So, Tom, we got any
What?
books coming up?
Not a one.
But we do have our show next Tuesday night.
Yes,
So-
every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on podcast.com.
At funnytalk.podcast.com, at our YouTube page, Funny Talk with Bongelli and Max, on animalhouseradio.net,
Spotify.
Spotify, YouTube,
Awesome.
all over. I had
Ready on, Wayne.
last week I had a
And
friend from high
Sorry.
school I went back to 17 years old with. This is how desperate we're getting for people to get on our show, like, just desperate friends of ours that, and people like you.
I don't know if I was desperate to get on your show. I don't know how desperate I was to get on your show, but I am desperate. So I don't know if it's the same
Why
thing.
don't you do no, you can't do a commercial because you're dating
Oh,
someone.
well, I'm frozen.
You can't do
Maybe.
But
Who
the
knows?
Russian friend of Rena's, a little message for you from New Jersey.
Oh my God. Now he will not be able to watch this link. Thanks a lot. My one fan will not be able to watch this.
Rena,
Anyways, guys, fun. I'm
I-
going to go make my starving daughter dinner.
oh, okay.
Rena is an exceptional woman. Whoever is listening, and if she's in your life, you are a lucky, blessed man, and you should thank your lucky blessings. And any time before you see her, you should think about her and think, what should I do nice for her? Should I bring her something? Should I bring her flowers? Maybe Maybe
I take credit cards.
salmon, wild caught salmon. What did you want, Rena?
Cash. I accept gifts. Credit
Bugs.
card. Got my own little debit machine. Carry it with me. I mean, yeah, nice things. Thank you, Doug. Thank you so much for all the flattering comments and
If the tag is DJ Maxx, she's just going to throw it up in there. We're talking, go to Macy's at least. Where are you registered? You should, they should do that as a dater. You should register so a guy gets an opportunity to show you how much you mean to him before you've even been on a date.
You know what? Aside from registry, just start the wedding registry. I'm sure that will really entice him into continuing to date.
This is an interim step. Let's go easy.
Here's a long list of things I want from our wedding. Do that second date, you think? Second date's the charm. If I actually get a date. Anyways. Anyway.
You came on. It's been fun, as I knew it would be.
Yeah,
I don't know what we accomplished. I don't know how I'm going to write a description of the show to make people want to listen to it, but I'll come up with something.
It was wonderful meeting you, and now I understand why Doug had such glowing praises for you. No joke.
Well, nice to meet you too.
You're the nicest moron I ever met.
Thank you so much. That really means a lot from someone of such a healthy figure.
Remember,
it's been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Before you make any more significant life decisions on your own and fuck them up, please involve me, okay?
Yeah, and if I could hear anything of what you just said and the internet wasn't popping out, I would agree. So,
good. That was our purpose.
There we go. Just like, blah, 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 blah. It's awesome. It's awesome, Canada internet. Thank you so much for making this a really easy flowing. That's right. Guys, it's been a pleasure. I'll let you guys continue your little menage a deux, whatever. That's French for two of you having a thing.
And we're just going to thank our sponsor, Jack Hoffman of J. Irwin Productions. Write to Jack at jirwinproductions.com if you want a comedy show, a fundraiser, you want a comedian to come and perform for you in your outdoor shed. The shed. How many people?
Or a Canadian naked comic.
With you. Or naked comedian.
Slash.
In your bathroom. Yeah.
Slash bugs on her leg for some odd reason. Who knows? From Madagascar. That's right.
Write to me.
Have a good evening, guys.
You write the funny
talk, lady.
Rena, thank you. You write the funnytalkmm@gmail.com. Tom and I will find a desperate comedian that'll come and clean your bathroom for you for, what do you think, Tom? Like 15 minutes, right? They'd probably drive an hour to clean a bathroom if they got to perform like 5 minutes of comedy for whoever's bathroom was, right?
Well, nowadays, I think people would jump at the chance. Thanks again. Take care.
Thank you.
Yep.
So please remember, Doug's comedic OCD bathroom, Tom and Doug's OCD comedic bathroom cleaning
Oh,
experience.
you're not including me in this. I don't clean my own bathroom.
Doug's OCD bathroom cleaning experience extravaganza and emporium. No, I wouldn't want to clean bathrooms, but I clean kitchens.
Yeah.
I don't want to be involved with bathroom stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of gross.
There was a woman that invented a self-cleaning house. Did you ever hear about her?
No.
It was an all concrete house with pipes and stuff up in the walls, and she'd pull a switch and it would rinse, sprays would come out and rinse everything down, the entire house.
Are you sure she didn't just live in a car wash?
Effectively, that's what it was. Another person that wanted to be so clean, they had an entire OCD clean habitat in their house. They had like it at the lower end. It began with like cockroaches that picked up the little crumbs, right? Literally, and then there would be there would be lizards that would eat the cockroaches, and they'd have something, and then there'd be a cat. You know, there'd be snakes.
Wasn't this a Looney Tune cartoon?
No, this was like a real person that had set up. They had spiders and insects and frogs. There were frogs and snakes, and it was an entire ecosystem all designed to keep the house clean.
Wow.
Slug slime for shine.
I can see the commercial now.
The slugs. Hey, hello, sharks. Hi, my name is Doug Max, and I'm here with Sluggo Shino. Sharks. Nobody likes mopping.
No.
You don't want to expose your children to unnatural chemical ingredients. A jar of slugs, it's environmentally, it leaves a shine. It'd clean up everything. They're easy to catch when the work is done.
Easy to catch. But wait, there's more.
Yeah, no, you paint a strip of sugar back to their house, so they all suck it up and end up back in their home at the end of the day. We need a catchy name though, like Roomba, but for slugs.
How about COVID? That's a catchy name.
Wow. I really should have gone into cleaning in my lifetime. There's nothing that
You probably would have enjoyed it more than anything else you've done.
except for, well, it'd be a close second with comedy. But there's nothing like the joy of having a clean counter. You know what I'm saying? Well, how long do you think it's going to be until we're back in regular comedy time, Tom?
Oh, honestly,
End of next year. I
don't even think that's soon. I think comedy as we know it primarily is dead. Between
my entire comedy career, Tom. So,
well, between the COVID, the political correctness, the Me Too movements, the I'm offended by everything you have to say, and I'll tell you about it. It's hard to imagine comedy the way we grew up with it.
Well, you know something, like you just made me think, how thin ties came back into fashion after so many years?
Yeah. Oh, there's definitely going to be a pendulum effect.
And you know how I love your stupid comedy? See, I think your comedy fills that gap. I think your comedy is a throwback to the days where comedy was pure comedy and people laughed at funny things and they didn't need to overthink. And no insult intended, I love your comedy. And it always, I hear things from you 20 times and I still think they're funny. I still think they're funny because they're sometimes pretty stupid. So, but I remember them. So, they're funny. But, and so many people now expect, every comedian to be I don't know what, a Jon Stewart, being the social commentator. And we need that. But, for most comedians, it's kind of risky because you polarize your audience if you get too political and you talk about the things that people are honestly going to comedy to get away from, to escape from all the rest of it. So,
we'll
on
see.
That note,
time will tell.
I think it's going to be. I think we'll feel safer. I think establishments will get used to managing with it. People get used to it. They'll understand it's the rule of the law. The rule of the land. I think Biden's going to enforce broader mask mandates around even in the stupid states where they don't believe in masks. And combined with the vaccine, at some point later on next year, we should be much safer than we are now. And I suspect by next Christmas, we won't need to wear a mask around. That's all.
Well, here's the thing too. generationally, I don't think anybody born before 2000 is a viable audience member for a comedy show.
I don't know. I don't know.
So as the baby boomers die off, at least that's my audience. I know that I can't make a millennial laugh. It's an impossibility. They just have different sentiments, different, senses of
All I
humor.
can tell you is I've made I feel comfortable having made, I think, a wide variety of people laugh at, when they're with me on this date where I perform better with the dog than with the woman.
Uh,
That's something everybody can relate to. They're there with me. That's funny. It doesn't matter how old you are, Or taking my son's temperature with a rectal thermometer.
and calling him honey.
You know something? He just told me 2 days ago. Yeah, he finally asked me to stop calling him honey. He's 25. And I talked to him today, and I called him honey a couple times and apologized for calling him honey. So I realize it's wrong with me, but I love him. So I don't know how to break the cycle. Anyway, Tom, our audience has been, I doubt anybody's still listening, so whatever. It's been fun.
It has been.
I'll talk to you before next week, buddy.
Okay.
Good night.
Take care.
You too.